Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East. We're at February 15th and looking at that weather report for the next week, did it change? I didn't see any of this before loading, or like last episode. Now I'm reloading and now there does seem to be some of this, huh? That's weird. Almost looks like it changes every time you load the game. Anyway, there's these partisans, of course. Then we have the SS Normandy. The SS Normandy was a French ocean liner built in the early 1930s. She entered service in 1935 as the largest and fastest passenger ship afloat. She is still considered the most powerful steam turbo electric propelled passenger ship ever built. Of course. The war found Normandy in New York Harbor. On September 3rd, 1939, the US government interned her just 2 days after Germany invaded Poland. The ship remained in New York Harbor but retained her French crew and captain. During the Battle of France in 1940, US Coast Guardsmen were detailed to board the ship to defend her against possible sabotage. In December of 1941, 5 days after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the US Coast Guard took possession of the Normandy. Later in that same month, the ship was transferred to the U.S. Navy. Let me just go all the way down. And was renamed the USS Lafayette. Plans were to convert the vessel to a troop ship. On February 10th, during the conversion process, the ship caught fire and capsized on her port side, coming to rest on the mud of the Hudson River at Pier 88. Although salvaged at great expense, restoration was deemed too costly. The ship was scrapped after the war. The Channel Dash. Based on Adolf Hitler's perceived threat of a possible British invasion of Norway on February 11th, 1942, the German Navy carried out Operation Cerberus, Unternehmen Cerberus, a naval squadron of the battleships Scharnhorst and Gneisenau with the heavy cruiser Prince Eugen and escorts ran a British blockade from Brest up the English Channel to northern German ports. The Luftwaffe provided air cover as the ships neared Dover. The British RAF, Navy, and coastal artillery belatedly began operations against the German ships, but failed to intercept them. Although the battleships were damaged by mines in the North Sea, the squadron reached German ports 2 days later. The British daily paper, The Times, denounced the British fiasco, and Winston Churchill ordered an inquiry into the debacle. The German Navy considered the operation a tactical success, but a strategic failure, by exchanging a threat to the Allied Atlantic convoys by German warships for a hypothetical threat to Norway. Okay, so here we are, and once again, we have blizzards everywhere, so I don't think that putting the planes back at this stage is going to be a great idea. So let's just run through it again, and then we'll see what we can do. It does seem like winter is almost over, so at least that's nice, but still have to prepare for a few turns worth of clasping those butt cheeks, basically. Alright, so first of all, let's take a look at the south. So, these units, where is your HQ? It's the 3rd Motorized Corps. For all of them, they should be in supply, and indeed, they are well enough. Basically all along this entire area, I'll just leave them. There are a few units that I'm moving into Voroshilовgrad, just like these, for some refit. These guys got back to 3 strength, which does mean I think they're now ready. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna move them into this hex because these were certainly the weakest, so that immediately gives me a little booster. I cannot move the 198th, so let's just leave it on that hex. These guys are very weak. They got attacked. They took a bunch of hits. They're down to 52% immediately. So that's pretty rough. These guys are at 50% too. Let's get rid of the final fortified zones. There are none here. Where's the third part? Third part of the 10th. It's up there. Oh yeah, I needed those guys to plug the gaps. Now, let's get rid of these two. What I'll be doing though is I'll be doing the old switcheroo. So hopefully the 50th Infantry Division will be able to hold out a little bit better, because they're gonna attack these guys. They might actually still attack them, but I think it's less likely that they'll break through here. These guys are in terrible shape, 33%. But the thing is, some of these Italians can get pretty far. So far even that I'm actually willing to move the mountain brigade. Let's just start with that. They're still at 2, that's great. It becomes more expensive the more units per turn you want to mobilize, but let's just do that already. Now the true interesting thing, let's see, so these guys are at 33, these guys are at 42. It doesn't make them a whole lot better. And I would like to put something in there. The question is just, what could I potentially sacrifice? I actually don't feel... Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the 111th for the 132nd. That will put both of them at 5, which also makes it a little bit more solid. The thing that I find weird is that they're just kind of giving up a lot of space here. Eighth Romanian, 14th. Where are other parts of the 14th? There, and there. So I think as far as the 14th is going, let's get all of these units over here. I think the time has come also to start thinking a little bit about reorganizing for, you know, the upcoming missions, or the upcoming summer offensive, etc. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, but I do want to start reorganizing here for the future. So as far as I'm concerned, I think those 2 motorized units can probably hold out. We have 4 Shield of Guard. There's 1 unit out there. I don't actually need to put this in here. Let's put both of these a little bit down. Like they have some damage support, but that's fine. And what that means is I can put some additional units in Voroshilov itself. Very likely, let's... Like, to be fair, I actually think that if I get 1 more Italian unit in here, Those Italians should be able to hold out, and I can actually remove Großdeutschland, for example. They're actually not doing that poorly, being at 87, and Leibstandard either. This is one part. Yeah, what I'm actually about to do is I'm gonna move... This is one part of the 60th. Let's see. I have two other parts of the 60th. And I'll put it there as an entire unit, so that plugs the gap quite nicely there. Then the motorized brigade is going to be on refit. They're gonna get removed turn 55, I think, to the western front, and then 82 back to the map. So that's quite a while, 20 turns. So let's just put them out there on refit. Then I will, for the moment, keep both of those units there too. This unit is rather weak, so what I'm inclined to do... you're not gonna make it. And the rest of the unit is weak too, but I want to prepare for putting those back together. Let's get this part of the 10th into Vorschilowgrad. Then what I'll do for the moment is I'll get the Großdeutschland motorized regiment in there. They can hold that position just fine. But then at least I'm preparing... let's see. Yeah, because if I pull these two out, I'm gonna have a defense of 2 in there, which is no good. So I'd rather keep it like this. We still have a bunch of Italian units down here. And 14th Panzer. They're under the 11th Army. Let's just immediately pull these guys out. That's no good. So I need this unit to be put in the Mountain Romanian Corps, for example. And you as well. For the moment, I'll be reshuffling that once I have the opportunity. They'll be moving in here. I know this is a weak defense with these guys, but there's... Doesn't seem to help much, but maybe it will. I do also find it interesting they're just giving that to me, but whatever. Okay. Let's actually see what's coming our way down in the south. We do have the 5th Light Division coming in here. I'm actually inclined to work it out here, get it off of the train, and move it 1 hex up. What that does is I've the Croatian Reinforced Infantry Regiment and 295th. Are these also part of the 295th? Yes, they are. Okay, because that will allow me also to get these as an actual unit like that. And then the Reinforced Croatian Infantry Regiment can move up here, reinforce those guys. Doesn't really look like that much, but I'm sure it helps a little bit. Let's put you under the 4th. That means that the 4th is overburdened. I'll take out the Hungarian Mountain Brigade, being at 20%. Yeah, they're also unready now that they've moved. These are actually then looking pretty good. You have too many units, but this is the 44th. So let's put you under the 44th. Again, you have too many, and then these guys don't have... I don't want to say they don't have enough, but let's see. These are 2 divisions. Very poor, this one. I mean, this is now a 3. Unfortunately, these can also not reinforce anybody, even though they've gotten plenty of reinforcements there. I'm afraid... Yeah, they cannot even move into that hex, which also would have liked quite a bit. But, no, 17th, eh? They, if they're not coming back yet, I can't put them under the OKH, but it is an indication that I might actually need another corps or something similar. At any rate, these guys are at 16%. Yeah, they're unready as well. Let's move them out to a city. They're also under the Hungarian High Command. All of them are. Do I not have a Hungarian corps? Huh. That's kind of weird, but nothing to be done, I suppose. These are actually relatively powerful. What do I got coming? I got a corps. I guess they are... I guess they can move up there. Interesting. It will... Oh, I don't have that one piece of road. That's fine. I'll take care of that later. How are we in Mariupol now? Yes. Great. Great, great, great. This isn't frozen, but I do believe we're not getting any supplies through there at the moment. Yeah. Okay, let's move up. No time to dilly-dally. I think, yeah, 2nd Panzer Army doesn't have that many units. It's quite something now. I should probably get the 299th off as well. And plug it like this. They're still relatively powerful. I would need more infantry though in that general area. This is the 42nd. Wait, did I say 42nd? Probably not. 46th, right. They are, yeah, almost perfect TOE. Let's get you on the 46th as well. Once again, I'm doing quite a bit of reorganization, but I think, like I said, with winter being almost done, I think that's probably a good idea. I'll see whether I'm going to get them to Kursk or Belgorod. It's one of the two. I got these guys into Staryaskal, but I think I'm going to reinforce Staryaskal here with this other unit. And you're part of a motorized court down there. I don't... Not too sure whether I agree, but oh well. You're part of Army Group Center. Army Group Center is not overburdened, so that's good. Now, add that. Let's see. So I've got 2 panzers down here with you. Can get 3 more units. It's probably good to be aware. Let's get all of these guys under 46th, actually. There we go. Whoops. Well, that's fine. I'll likely join them together soon anyway. But that means that you have only 2 currently. That's just a brigade. Amazing. Okay, so they have 4 now. Let's take a look at how the 2nd Army is doing. Reasonably well. None of these should be overburdened, and indeed they are not. They're probably much more needed at Kursk. given that I need to retreat these guys as well. Well, first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna assign these guys a few more battalions. Should get rid of them. And I cannot move in there, but this will allow me to retreat with these guys a little bit further. I actually think that it's probably a good idea. This is the 48th motorized. Like, I will not be able to beat this, but I do need other units to take the place. So first of all, I think that 11,000 unit can probably work for one more turn, but these guys, they're so weak that they both need to get out of there. In the current conditions, I could put 3rd Panzer into Belgorod. Probably a good idea. I'll keep them on refit, which will allow me to get out. 112th, 131st. Oh, they cannot get in there. Okay, so let's at least move to 137th and move both of these over in here. Now put both of them under the OKH. There we go. And with that done, this core, I cannot lose this rail line. That's basically the most important, the Kursk oral rail line. That is where I want to draw a line in the sand for this winter, basically. So what I'll do, this is looking reasonable. I'll move you back, and then these guys in there too. I think these can hold out for another turn, so they don't necessarily need to do anything. And then I will take this core. I currently have 3 infantry divisions. Jeez, 11%. That's 2,000 men. Let's get those guys in there, and there might be other infantry units, potentially, most likely not, that I can send to the Kursk region. No. these guys are also very weak, being at 2. I'm gonna need to find something for that. Because they are going to be in trouble. Well, that's 2 divisions. That would allow me to take both of these off of the line. And let's see what I can then do. I really need to reorganize this too. So I have, what do I have here? That's the, you're part of the 9th Corps. But then you'd be much better off being under the 9th like this. Then we'll have the 13th. Over there, together with you. It's no surprise these are somewhat weaker or stronger because of all those support units. "35th. Alright. That's it for the southern reorganization for this turn. I know that, I said I want to try play an entire episode a turn here, but since we're already past the half an hour mark, there's not a whole lot that I just don't have the time to make every episode more than an hour. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go over a few last things. So victory points still the same, initiative the same, high watermark 1 higher. We still need to get 750 to win. Total men, the Soviets are still getting up there, about 100k per turn. Total guns, AFVs, aircraft, manpower losses. They're losing about, 60, 70k a turn. Gun losses, AFV losses. Fuel stores for us 1.531, so pretty low already. But we should be able to make it eventually, I think. We'll see. So there's that. And if we look at captured units, I also always like to do that, whether there's something interesting here. Something that we didn't have before. Nothing too interesting here so far. BA-20 armored cars, they're somewhat better than the BA-10s. One T-60. Okay, a recon tank, eh? Because I didn't see that before. BT-7A, very rare. One KV-140, funnily enough. Right, so then the last thing I want to look at is the losses. So we got for Soviet losses about 4.5 million. We're getting close to 1 million here. A lot of men disabled there. That's the biggest part. Also a lot disabled for the Soviets though. But we killed and captured a lot more men. They lost almost 20,000 tanks at this point, and 73,000 guns. If we look at what they have on the battlefield, they still have around 4,000 tanks. So we are up on them, but yeah, they're losing a lot every turn. Or actually, yeah, for on map it's 2,700, so there is still a little bit less than for us. They have more guns. They have a lot more men. So we'll have to do a lot of encirclements soon too, I think, when we have the chance. After the weather has gotten at least a little bit better. We're already starting to see rain over places like Germany and such, but yeah, we're not so lucky yet in Russia itself. Anyway, I'll be doing the other part of the reorganization in the next episode. Wanna thank you all for watching. Do hope you still enjoyed it, even though we made barely any progress. But yeah, this is all part of building towards the point where it will be possible to really start that new summer offensive. Some areas are pretty critical, like here. But yeah, there's very little I can do about that for now. Basically the Germans kind of halted the Soviets here. Shakovskaya, and they did take Borodino, but then Gatsk, wherever that is around here. Was taken a whole lot later. Also held on to that, but Kondrovo was taken fairly quickly. The problem also is that, like, this is still wood, which is nice, but then we have clear area here. So once they break through, then they can, you know, get this area relatively quickly, I think, except potentially Zukinichki. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time, and bye bye.